Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you guys today how to make vintage journaling pockets or vintage looking journaling pockets, and these can be used in your junk journals or any type of journals that you make that need to hold pieces of paper or hold note cards, or for this example, can hold, like the bookmarks that we made last week. You could actually use these for those. So this is actually the pocket I made. And if you are interested in watching the tutorial, I would love to show you how to make it. So this is it. And I'm going to show you how to make that. So here we go. What you're going to need for this, you're going to need some coffee dye papers, which I have a couple of sheets here and just like a third for extra. And then I have a coffee dyed doily. You're also going to need some glue, some scissors, some ink, distress ink, or any ink that you normally use to distress your papers. You're gonna need an edge punch, which is optional. You don't have to have this. And also a circle punch. This is a 2-inch circle punch. And you don't have to have this either. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can just use your scissors and eyeball it. You're also gonna need a note card, or in our case we're going to use 2 because I think we're going to make more than one, but these are like 5 by 8 by 5 note cards, so the bigger ones. Or if you just want to make a smaller one, you can use the smaller note cards. It's totally up to you. Also, some washi tape is optional. You're just using that to decorate. You don't have to have that. And some strips of scrapbook paper. I'm going to show you how this is done. This is a very simple project, so let's get started. All right, first I'm going to get a piece of my coffee dyed paper. I just love coffee dyed paper. I love all paper, I guess. And what I like to do is put ink on my paper, on my note card. Get the edges really well so it stays down. And then cover the card with glue. And you're gonna take the card and flip it over on top of the coffee dyed paper, or coffee stained paper. Some people say coffee stained or coffee dyed. You're gonna kind of line it up to the edge of the paper, and make sure it's pressed firmly. You don't want any air bubbles. Do the same for the other note card. I'm going to get the edges first, and then the center. I think I have 2 note cards under this one. I think they're stuck together. We'll see. Anyway, so, okay, maybe not. Oh, yeah, we do have another one. All right, so we're gonna flip this one over on the other side of the coffee stained paper. Get it as close to the edge as possible. I'm hoping I'm in frame so you guys can see me, see what I'm doing. So after all that is firmly placed on the coffee stain paper, we're going to just cut all of the excess off. For some reason, I always think cutting paper is therapeutic for me. A lot of people find it boring, but I kind of get a kick out of cutting paper. As weird as that may sound, but you're gonna cut the extra off, and you'll have like a couple of strips left over. And if you're like me, you save them because you can use them for something else. So on this side is coffee dye, and then we still have the white index card on the back. So we're gonna get our second piece of coffee stain paper and our coffee dye note cards, and then we're just gonna glue on the other side. And I wanna do this step by step. It could be boring, but I wanna do it step by step so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I don't have any fancy camera tricks over here. We're just crafting right along. So I'm gonna do the edges first just to make sure I get as close to the edge as possible so we don't have any air bubbles and so that we don't have like edges coming up, because we don't want that. So how is everyone doing? I hope you're able to get out a little bit more and see friends and family a little bit more. I've been doing a little bit more of that, and it's actually really nice. So, all right, so we have the backs glued. We're gonna flip these over and kind of get to the edge of our coffee stain paper. And then we're gonna press firmly just to be sure that it sticks. And then we're gonna do the same for this one. I'm gonna flip it over and press. And so it's gonna look like this. You have the 2 index cards that are covered on both sides. So now all you have to do is cut the extra paper off. And your index card is going to look nice and aged on both sides. Now there may be an easier way to do this. This is just the way that I do it. If you know a faster way, by all means, you can do that. But this is just what I'm accustomed to doing. So now, save the extra. Now we have this. Look how beautiful, right? So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take one of the index cards and we're gonna fold it in half. Okay, just try to get the edges lined up, fold it in half, and then we're just gonna cut it in half. Sometimes it's easier to see the line if you turn it over. We're gonna cut that in half. And we're gonna save one half for another day. Next, I don't know how straight that is. I like this side better. Next, you're gonna take your 2-inch circle punch and try to line it up evenly in the middle and you're just gonna press, and you'll get a cute little dip here. And that's gonna be used for your pocket. And before I do any gluing, I like to ink. So just grab your Distress ink. If there, I don't know, there could be different kinds of inks that you use to distress, but I just have the Vintage Photo, and this is by Tim Holtz, I believe. And I don't have the fancy dauber or the inkers or whatever you guys use. Some people use. I just use like a makeup sponge, and you can get these like 24 for maybe $1 and some change or something. But anyway, it works well for me, so that's what I use. So you just get some ink on your sponge, and you're just gonna ink. Inking is therapeutic as well. I don't know if you guys like to use this ink, but I like the sound, and it's very relaxing to me, so I like to ink. So here's your pocket, and then we're gonna ink around the back side. That's gonna hold our beautiful bookmarks or whatever, tags or whatever you want to put in yours. So just like that, we have a vintage looking note card. And you can see just a little different designs from the coffee dyes. And after you put glue on here, it's kind of bumpy. So sometimes I just even put a little bit of ink just to give it a little bit more character and give it a little bit more distress. The distress look. But anyway, so this is what it looks like now. So what I'm gonna do now is get some glue. I'm gonna go down each side of the pocket, and I'm also gonna go across the bottom of the pocket. That way it stays attached. So I'm gonna flip this over and attach it to the bottom, just like that. And just to show you, you can get, let's see, this piece of coffee dye paper, it's stained a little better, and I think it's a different kind of paper. It's like a thinner paper, but I'm gonna tear some strips just because I like the designs. Look at that. Look at the designs in there. We're gonna try something here. Let's just ink around the edges of this one. As if the paper doesn't look old enough, we'll make it look even older, right? Okay, and let's just, what do we want to do? Kind of like that. Let's do that. So let's take this and let's glue this down. And you can use anything. I know on some of them I used coffee dye doilies. On the example that I showed you, I used coffee dye doilies, but you don't have to. You can just use whatever you have. If you have a piece of coffee dye paper that you like better and it's got some neat designs on it, you can use that. I'll show you some examples of some of the other cards that I made. And I just stuck some different coffee dyed papers on there. For example, I made this one, and then I found, you know, some strips that had some interesting pieces, colors in there, or, you know, different shades. And so I just glued them down on these. And so, you know, no card is going to be exactly the same because the coffee stains are different. So yeah, so those are some of the examples. This is another that I made, and I just put, you know, some darker colored coffee stain paper on there. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next part. Let's check on time. We're okay. The next thing we're going to do is I have some strips of scrapbook paper, and you can pretty much, you know, pick what you like. That's why when you get scrapbook paper and you make a project and you have extra paper, always hold on to it, because you can always find another way to use it. So I think I want to go with some of these colors. They're not really bright, but they're still beautiful, right? What do I want to do here? One thing I do know is whatever I'm going to use, I'm going to ink. So let's see, do I want to use this? Oh, I like that. Let's do this one. So we're going to ink around the edges just to keep up with the vintage looking theme that we have here going on. Gonna do some inking around, and I'm not sure, I know I'm not gonna use this whole strip, but we're gonna eyeball it, and we're gonna make a little tuck right here. I like to just bend the edge of where I need it. That way I know where to cut. I'm gonna make a cut here, and I'm gonna ink that spot. And then I'm going to put some glue on both sides. Put some glue here and there, and then I'm gonna kind of eyeball the middle of the pocket, and I'm gonna stick it to the pocket. And this is what these are your results. Now you can also make it interesting by, you know what, let's just do another one before we move on, so we can have two different, pockets here. I kind of like this, so we're gonna fold that over so we know where to cut. And we're gonna cut. So take your ink, go around the edges. And we're gonna get our glue, put glue on both ends. I am using, ooh, what is this? Tacky glue. It works well on my fabrics. I normally use Fabri-Tac. I think my favorite glue is Fabri-Tac, but this is what I had on hand today, so I'm using this tacky glue, which it works great. It works fine. But you know, you just kind of get used to certain things, and we are creatures of habit, I believe. So, and I found some washi tape. You can use any washi tape, but this kind of looked has the old feel about it. So I'm gonna run some washi tape along the bottom. I think I need to ink that. What do you think? Has anybody ever inked washi tape? I don't normally do that, but let's see if you can even do that. Is inking washi tape a thing? Somebody let me know. So I'm just gonna kind of stick that on the bottom here and clip the ends. I find it very helpful to glue washi tape down because sometimes it doesn't like to stick. But I think that looks okay. How about that? How about some green maybe? Is that too much? I didn't bring a lot of my washi tape in here. I just grabbed a couple. So I don't really like that. What do we want to do? I have some little tea cards, little botanical tea cards. I wonder if that would work. Should we try that? Ooh, I kind of like that. All right, let's ink this one. I found these on, I actually found a book of these botanicals and I cut them out and I backed them with, I cannot think of the name of it, with paper, cardstock. There's my word. I backed it with cardstock just to give it some firmness, and there you have it. What do you think about that? That's kind of cute, right? See if we can find another one. Uh-oh. Keep knocking over my lighting here. Let's see if we can find another one. We have one in purple and trying to see how well. Oh, let's try this one. Let's try this one. I hope you guys are following along okay. Sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place, but and like I said, you can use basically anything because the one I showed you before is really nothing like this and nothing like these, but you know, I'm kind of doing this seat up the pants. We're just go with the flow, and so that one's like that. Okay, so the one I showed you before, let me take these out so you can see. The one I showed you before, I used a doily, but it's basically the same concept. We have the piece along the front here that holds like a smaller tag. We have some washi tape here at the bottom, and then we have some sort of decoration. This one has the doily, and these just have coffee dyed papers. And you know, you can add in your tags or whatever. But what I'm gonna do, I have made this jumbo chunky tag the other day, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do a tutorial on that as well, but we're gonna stick that in the front. And then I made a mini jumbo tag. I don't really know the names of these. I'm just kind of making something up, I guess. But anyway, I made a smaller version of that tag. And what I'm gonna do is stick it right in the bottom. But yeah, so that's how it turns out. But I am gonna do a tutorial on these jumbo tags. Here's the bigger one, and then here's the smaller one. and they have two sides. But anyway, back to the two we just made. I just want to show you what they look like with something else inside. And these are the bookmarks that we made the other day. So here's a bookmark, and then here's just like the strips that we made, one of the strips. And you see how versatile it actually is, because this stuff really isn't like vintage, or I mean it could be, but you wouldn't really call this vintage. But look how well they go together. So, and let's find something to stick in this one just for fun. Here's another one of those tags. I don't know about this. Let's just stick that one in the front. And let's find a bigger one for the top pocket. Just for fun. And these haven't been inked or anything, but yeah. So just like that. And I wanted to show you one more thing before I go. I told you I'm gonna do a tutorial on the jumbo tags, but I wanted to show you one that I made that has a pocket and then a little tuck in the front. But yeah, I hope I didn't put too much information out at one time, but I thought these were cute, and I was hoping that this information could be useful to someone. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know if there's any videos that you're interested in. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you, you know, for any reason. So leave a comment if you would like. If you are new here to my channel, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel. For my normal subscribers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means a lot to me. And until next time, I hope you guys are doing well, and we will craft later. Thank you so much. Have a great day.